this beautiful Monday morning.
What a forecast we got this week.
What a treat.
Woo. Frank Ferragini, thank you very much. The Frank.
The Frank.
Welcome back to BT.
As Mel said.
Dina, Pugliese, Seixeiro. Is digital dating worth it? These new Toronto apps have been putting a spin on finding your soulmate, but can they really help out? Shannon Tebb, matchmaker extraordinaire, joining us this morning on BT. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Let's talk about what's happening with dating apps here. What is the current trend, especially during the pandemic? How has that kind of market and landscape changed, in your opinion?
So definitely with the pandemic, people are stuck at home. And if you're single, it's a great time to jump online and think about these niche dating apps that have come out. So one is Heartcade, which launched in February, which is really cool. So it's anonymous messaging. Identities are and images are hidden. So it has this really cool 1980s video game themed interface. Oh. So if you think of Heartcade, you think of arcade, it rhymes. So that's a good way to remember this.
Okay, that's a cool new app. Do you have anything else that's new?
There's also a like. A like replaces images and written bios with short video prompts. So it really helps get rid of racial biases. So really you're just like putting out a video out there. You don't have to worry about photos and writing bios. And I think once people start using it, they become more comfortable. And it's something really to look forward to.
Shannon, do people want apps where your identity is kind of kept hidden? Like at some point, like I'm married a long time, happily married, so I don't know about these apps. I don't know why I said that out loud, but I felt like I had to say it.
Okay.
But is it not important to share identity at some point on the app? I find that fascinating. Mm.
Yes, I think, of course, but a lot of times people are prejudged by the photos and by what's written. So it's kind of nice to remain anonymous and have like those kind of hidden discussions where nobody can see you at first, and then you identify yourself so that you are having like a really authentic conversation. You're not worried about already being prejudged.
It was like that Love is Blind show. It was a huge hit. I think it's pretty cool.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about time commitment. If you know it's a dud within like the first 2 minutes. It's a dud, and you're like, now I've committed to whatever. You say limit it to 15-minute blocks. If you know, right? Give yourself that out. So how do you do it?
Well, what I think, Dina, is you set a timer and you go online for 15 to 20 minutes and you devote that time to responding back to the messages that maybe you have already matched with. That way you're being intentional with the messaging, and messages are not lost. So a lot of times people will be swiping, they lose the messaging, and matches end up getting missed, and that could be a missed opportunity. So set your timer and turn off distractions and notifications with other apps as well.
Shannon, how many real relationships do you find are happening right now? Like, are we going to see, when things get lifted and Canada changes for the better here in the coming months, is there going to be a race to the altar here or to City Hall to get officially, you know what I mean? Like, is the sense you're getting there is a buildup here and we're going to see it once we're done?
Well, there may be a race to the bedroom. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm seeing that's going to happen is people are establishing more stronger emotional connections at the moment. So they're more selective with who they're meeting and who they're having these walking dates with. So I think that relationships are happening and it's a great opportunity, but there is that trend of slow dating. So it's not about just jumping into the relationship, but when you do find somebody that you really connect with, that's when things kind of move quickly.
Shannon, you talked about some of the newer apps that are gaining traction during COVID. What about the more traditional ones that we've known over the last few years? Are they still busy? Are they still getting downloads? Are they still being used?
Yeah, like the top three, I would say, are, Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble. Those are very present and people are on there. But a lot of people have had bad experiences or they're not finding the quality online, which is why maybe they are sourcing out other ways to meet people, like through matchmaking or, expanding social networks. But again, you have to, like, if you are online dating, you have to be intentional and you have to devote that time and just try to make it a fun experience. Dating should be fun. If you are feeling like you're tired and you have online dating burnout, don't be afraid to take a break.
Yeah, that's what my friend had to do. She said there was almost too much choice. And everyone's like, if not you, it's the next one. And they were being like downright shallow, rude, because it's like, well, I have another 10 people waiting. So it's almost that thing where how do you focus on one person when you have another 7 waiting in the wings? It's so hard to navigate. Thank God we never had to go through that. Did you ever?
No, never.
Did you ever?
No. Well, I mean, look at me. Normally, yes, there'd be a waiting list for someone that looks like me, but but not recently.
I don't know how people do it.
I don't know. Kids
so
today.
Hard.
Shannon Tebb. Shannon, we appreciate it. Fascinating stuff.
Great tips.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Bye,
Shannon.
guys.
Bye.
All right. Coming up here on Breakfast Television, we're going to talk cicadas. Speaking of relationships, cicadas are out and they're looking for love. Also, Nicole Cervinas. We got BT celebrations coming up and a very special honor roll on the horizon.
Oh.
There's the hat. It's a beautiful Monday morning.
I knew that. That's where her hats grew.
She grows her hats.
Yes, she
We're
does.
learning a lot this morning.
That's where they grow.
You're watching